Hey, my friends. Ilse here. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me for a bit. So, this mini training, this is going to be quick, is a little bit of an ode to Thanksgiving and to finding happiness and satisfaction and pleasure and abundance in the life, the business, the money that you currently have, that you're currently experiencing, because you can't ever create the future that you desire by being at war with your present. And so the big idea behind today's mini training is that your current experience, your present today, must never be sacrificed on the altar of a better tomorrow. And that's because tomorrow is always an extension of today. It's always created on the back of today. So whatever you have today tends to be what magnifies and continues and grows. So a present you love is the fastest way to create an amazing tomorrow. If you want ease, joy, abundance in your future, then you must find it, claim it, honor it, live it, and love it in your present. Because when you do that, you literally start to shift your biochemistry. You start to rewire your brain and your nervous system to be a match for the life that you want, and you start to normalize it inside you. You naturally start to expect that life because it feels normal. It feels no big deal. It feels like the standard by which you live. And when you do that, when your entire biochemistry and your entire neurocircuitry is essentially wired towards the life that you want, towards abundance and happiness and joy, because you're finding it in the moment over and over and over, what happens is you start to dissolve any resistance, any kind of sabotage, any sense of unworthiness or not being ready that you might still hold within you. Here's another powerful lesson in true abundance. The entire journey must feel like and honor the spirit and the frequency of your destination. You can't ever create peace from push or pressure. You can't create a life or a business or money that is filled with ease by using effort to build it. You can't create success and prosperity by spending your time stuck in money worry and in scarcity. You essentially must embody and you must water the seed of abundance and happiness to create a fruit that is abundant and fills you with satisfaction and fulfillment. So, the invitation this week, specifically because of Thanksgiving, is to look at where in your life, in your business, in your experience with money, where you are forcing, where you are pushing or putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Look for where you're believing in lack and scarcity. Look at where you're spending a lot of time complaining and focusing on what you don't have or what's not quite working the way you want it. And literally interrupt that shit and start to shift back to flow and pleasure. Start to train your brain to look for what is working in your life, in your business, in your relationship to money. What is it that you enjoy? What feels fun, feels nourishing, feels easeful, feels abundant right now in your life, in your business, in money, and start to celebrate that. What you want is you want to really refocus. What you focus on is what grows. So you want to teach your brain, your body, your nervous system to start to be in alignment and to be focused on abundance and ease and satisfaction, on what's working. Make every day literally like a mini version of the outcome that you are seeking. So if you want more money or more clients, look at and celebrate the money and the clients that you currently have. If you want more joy, more ease in your future, look for and celebrate whatever feels easeful, whatever feels joyful in your current life. And you do that until the life you're seeking, the business you're desiring, that level of ease, of abundance, of satisfaction doesn't feel like it's out there anymore. It feels like it's here, and it feels like it's a given. It feels like it's you. And I find that gratitude as a practice is incredibly helpful with that, because it refocuses your brain and it keeps anchoring your brain towards abundance, towards happiness, towards ease, towards what is already working. And when you do that over and over and over, not only does that experience start to actually become your lived reality, it becomes your biochemistry and it becomes your identity. Abundance, happiness, ease becomes your way of being and your way of living. This really is the power of this work. It's the power and the great gift of expanding your nervous system for greater capacity, of training your brain to be anchored in possibilities rather than protection. Because when your body, your mind, and your identity are calibrated to the life, to the business, to the wealth you desire, that's when you start to create magic and miracles. That's when you become a living embodiment of the reality you desire. And that's when the reality you desire starts to truly meet you in the present, exactly where you're at. So if you're interested in going deeper with this work, in rewiring yourself for the life you want, for the business you want, for the enjoyment and the abundance you want, then check the description of this mini training and let's see how we can work together. I work with people in groups. I work with people one-on-one. I work with people in a combination, like a middle ground between the two. I literally have something for every learning style and every budget. So if you want transformation, if you want this new year to be a completely different experience for you, you want to totally transform the entire trajectory of your life, your business, and your wealth from the inside out, and then sprinkle some really custom strategy to it, then this is the work for you, and I would love to share it with you. All right. Have a lovely, lovely week, and I'll probably see you next week.